Hi, Steve and Caleb from Brownells here, bringing you another edition of Smyth Busters. Today, Caleb, this is dangerous ground you're walking on, so
Very
be careful.
dangerous. I was kind of scared to do this one because of the comments, but let's do it anyway.
Do it.
Striker fired is better than hammer fired.
Oh, okay, here we go.
Here we go.
The current thinking is striker fired is the way to go. Am I assuming correctly?
It's the new hotness.
It's the new hotness.
For those that don't know.
Since, striker fired guns have only been around since, what, turn of the century?
Oh no, Glock invented striker fired, Steve.
Okay, so all those guns back at 1900 and on?
That's not a thing.
Yeah, I think Browning had a few of them.
Mm-hmm.
Colt
He did.
marketed them, and yeah, they were all over the place.
Yeah, I remember, something in World War II using one. That was a few days ago.
Yeah, but the thing is, the hammer is the traditional firearm for most people. They think of a gun with a hammer, like an old 1911 or a Browning high power or a revolver.
Yep.
So the striker fired seemed new and improved.
Exactly. So, and I think that's where a lot of the mindset comes from, is the new and improved. And now that, a lot of companies are making striker fire specific guns. You got Glock, SIG, Smyth & Wesson, all those major carry gun manufacturers are all making striker fired guns.
So new and improved, what improvement does striker fired give you?
I mean, looking at it from a mechanical standpoint, there's a little bit less lock time, but I mean, it's not that much. And
Right.
honestly, the big thing is just that you don't have an exposed hammer at the rear.
You don't have anything to catch on things.
Right. So it's more of like a snagless design. But other than that, both guns, both designs have been torture tested ridiculously, even recently in the military trials.
True.
And both of them performed extremely well. So I honestly, I can't say that one's better than the other. The tests haven't proven really that one's better than the other, depending on the manufacturer, because there's some pretty, what's the word I'm looking for without being too mean, Steve? Budget?
Yeah, that's the thing. It is a little less expensive to make a striker fired pistol.
It is, yeah, and because of that, a lot of budget style firearms are making striker fired handguns
Right.
that don't necessarily have a very good reputation.
Right.
I'm not going to say the manufacturer, but there's a low point at which you kind of put a gun together. What's the opposite of a low point? Anyways, you see where I'm going with this.
I think so.
Yeah.
But I've got plenty of both style of guns. I got M&Ps, I got Glocks, I got a SIG, but then again I got 1911s high powers. So I got a bunch of revolvers,
Yep.
all with hammers. And they both work well for me.
Yeah, same here. I don't necessarily prefer one over the other. It all depends on what I'm using it for. If I'm wearing my gun on a belt outside the waistband, I'm pretty much always using my SIG 226, which is a hammer gun. When I'm appendix carry and concealed carry, I'm using something like a Springfield Hellcat or something like that, which is a striker fire gun. So it depends on the application. I don't prefer one over the other necessarily. So mechanically, one's not really superior to the other. So that myth is busted.
Now, one can be safer than the other depending on how you're trained and how
Right.
you handle the gun.
Right. That's absolutely. That's a
true.
very good
I
point.
mean, I fumble around sometimes, so if I appendix carry, I carry a Glock. Perfectly simple. Striker's not fully cocked. Really nothing to go wrong as long as your holster doesn't trip the trigger.
Yeah. So I mean, that gets us to another point: is which one should you carry, and that's going to be whichever one you train with.
Right. Now, this SIG here, that's a double and single action gun.
Correct.
So you can carry it with the hammer down, but it's ready to go.
Yep.
Same thing with the Beretta 92, Walther P38, you
Yep.
name it.
Exactly.
Whereas a Glock or a P320, anything like that, they're always ready to go as well.
Yep. Exactly. So, whatever.
And you
whatever
can have
practice.
safeties on it. You can have safeties off it. You can, get it with or without the levers.
Yep. Some people, love those. Some people hate them, and one's not necessarily better than the other. This is the circle we're talking in here because of that.
I think the takeaway is there's no excuse for not getting the exact gun that works well for you.
There you have it.
Yeah.
Well said.
But the myth itself is just a myth. I can't favor one of these over the other.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's somebody out there that did internet reviews and was like, oh, I shot this one and then I shot this one performed better, but they only tested a few guns, and it's
Yeah.
whether they show it or not, it was bias, I promise.
And both types of guns are still selling very well.
Very well.
Yeah, so I'd say that myth's busted.
Busted.
If you happen to disagree with that, please leave us a comment below and let us know what you think. Hit that like and subscribe button, and as always, we thank you, and we'll see you next time with another edition of Smyth Busters.